Nathan Aspinall, 2023 Premier League is upon us and you return to the fold. First of all, how happy are you to get that call?
Yeah, I was buzzing. I was 50-50. Obviously, I feel like I've had a good year, but like obviously it's been noted, I've not actually lifted one of them trophies. I've lifted 2 runner-up ones, but I feel like my game's in a good place. And obviously, when Matt called me and told me, obviously I was on cloud 9, absolutely buzzing, and it was raring to go.
As a player, what's it like in the build-up to the Masters? Obviously, the Masters is a tournament itself, but the Premier League is on everyone's mind. How hard is it to put the distraction of who's going to be in and who's not to the back of it?
To be honest, the best thing I did was not playing in World Series and bugger off on holiday, because obviously my mind was more occupied with making sure my kids were having a good time in Disney. But then obviously we came back, and then your Masters and it all starts, and the talking, have you had the call or whatever. I wasn't in the Masters long enough to be part of most of them conversations, because I was on my way home Friday night. But yeah, obviously it's tough. People, I think you've seen it in some of the players that thinking that they have to have a good run in the Masters, and I think it may have affected the games. But here's what it is: I don't pick stuff. I got picked, and I'll just enjoy that moment.
Like I say, not your fault that you picked over others. Boot was on the other foot. If you'd have won one of the TV titles and not been included, would you have had the ump?
I'd have been raging. Yeah, I think certainly Luke. He's going to be. I thought he was a shoo-in, to be quite honest with you. And then obviously the other boys that had won stuff, obviously they've got to look at that thinking, I've won something, he hasn't, why is he in? There's a reason the PDC have picked this 8. They know what they're doing, they don't make many mistakes, do they? So I think you've just got to get on with it, and to make sure you're in it, get in the top 4, simple as that.
Did they back themselves into a corner with the format? Because the talent pool now is huge, and going into it there was a legitimate case. There was 10, 12 names in the mix, so reverting back to the old format maybe have alleviated some of this?
Yeah, I think like they say about from the live audience point of view, they prefer this knockout format, but again it's only 8 players then. I think the standard that us boys play at now, I think you can easily, it's an easy argument, there should be more than 8 in the Premier League in my opinion. But how do they do that with the knockout format kind of thing? That's a hard situation they're in. But yeah, the depth in the top 16, well, in the whole of darts, to be fair, nowadays is unreal. So yeah, I think there is room for change. But again, that's down to them, innit?
You're one of the rare few that have done the whole circle in the Premier League. You played as a challenger, and then you've come through, been left out and back in. It really is an emotional roller coaster, this Premier League, isn't it? Yeah, it's
hard, but I think yes, I have, like you just said then, but I've never actually done the whole Premier League, i.e. every week in arenas. So how am I gonna feel doing that? Fatigue. I spoke to Joe last year and he was absolutely done in. So yeah, it's going to be tough mentally, physically. Obviously a lot of time away from home, but I'm ready for it. This is what I started playing darts for, is for this. Unfortunately COVID happened and I had to do 2 years behind closed doors. 2 great seasons, final and a semi-final, but now I'm looking to do it properly, and walking out in these arenas every single week which is why I picked it out for the first time.
Your Premier League record, as you touched on there, is immaculate. Never not qualified for the finals night or anything like that, so you can take that confidence into this year's.
Yeah, I think obviously it's a different format. I've never played this format as well, but I think the Premier League brings the best out of me, because I know from the start I have a tendency to be really poor at the start of games, whereas obviously in the Premier League you just got no chance. You just have to be on it from the start, and I know that. Whether I take a different mindset when I'm in this tournament, I don't know, but it brings the best out of Nathan, and hopefully my good run of making the playoffs every year continues into a 3rd season.
Fixtures obviously came out. Gezi up first. First of all, you two always bring the best out of each other, but I bet part of you's glad it's not in Cardiff as well while you're playing him.
Yeah, well, see, it's well, that's what Dobie was saying. I think Dobie's got Johnny in Cardiff, but listen, he gets some stick, you know what I mean, and it probably will throw him in Cardiff when they do cheer for him. You know what I mean? He's like, what you all doing me for? But now, when the fixtures came out, I had one eye, and that was Manchester. you know, whom I'm playing in Manchester. I can't wait for that, and it's Smithy. You know, good mates with Smithy to play him in Manchester. As much as I love Smithy, I hope they boo him to death because I'm in Manchester. But yeah, it's there's so many places there, like Rotterdam, that I can't wait for that one. That's going to be electric, even though I'm playing Michael, but that's going to be electric, and obviously we start off week 1 in Belfast.
Speaking on that Manchester vibe and whatever, we've seen Johnny change his walk on in Cardiff, we've seen Dobes do it in Newcastle. Are you going to maybe have a Manchester play that night?
See, obviously you got James at Manchester, but there's a band called The Blossoms who I'm good friends with, and they're a Stockport-based band, and I've always said that if I got to the Premier League in Manchester, I'd do something with that. I've got to keep the bright side when I'm on the stage, because obviously that's who I am. Yeah. But you know, I've got to speak to the powers that be first. But I am thinking about making a bit of a Manc theme to the start of the walk-on. But we'll deal with that in a few weeks.
Is that important for players? Because we've seen them do it now, to try and identify with the area of the country that you are playing in and get them on the side early?
Nah, not really. I think. Nah, not really. I think if they want to cheer for you, they'll know who you are anyway before. I don't need to change my walk-on for that. And I think Mr. Brightside, with me personally, is iconic enough to differentiate who I am, kind of thing. But it'll be nice for the crowd to hear, you know, a local song, and obviously they'll all start singing it. I think for me personally, if I was on that stage and they were all singing like a James song or something like that, it would be an amazing feeling. But nah, I'm not going to purposely do it. I'll just do it because I just think it'd be good, kind of thing.
Pleasure as always, man. Good luck this week.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.